fury of kicks, elbows, and forearm smashes would have been incredible to see, especially with a WWE title on the line. Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle. If you're a fan of true mat wrestling and submission holds, then you probably wish you could have gotten to see Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle. When both stars were in their prime, they provided non-stop stellar matches. Fans wished they could have seen the battle of the ankle lock against the sharpshooter. Both wrestlers are now well past their prime and could never deliver a match of the caliber that they were once capable of. Shawn Michaels versus The Rock. One of the biggest missed opportunities to ever come from the WWE was a chance to see Shawn Michaels take on The Rock in a main event match. Rumors swirled for years that the two disliked each other backstage, but the two never got a chance to settle their differences in the ring. The Rock's been involved in a dream match against Hulk Hogan, John Cena, and Bill Goldberg, but a battle with the Heartbreak Kid could have topped them all. CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin was very close to coming out of in-ring retirement to face off against CM Punk. Punk taunted Austin for months on Twitter, and the two even came face-to-face on Raw. CM Punk grew up a huge Austin fan, creating a natural storyline that could have progressed in the ring. With CM Punk presumably gone for good, this dream match will likely remain that way and never see the light of day. John Cena versus The Undertaker. The Undertaker is known for his incredible WrestleMania streak, but John Cena's WrestleMania record is just as impressive. He has wrestled in numerous WrestleMania main events and often steals the show each year. They fought each other early in Cena's career, but these two battling now would be a truly great WrestleMania dream match that fans would pay to see. It would be a match filled with near falls, multiple pin attempts, and a lot of drama as fans passionately cheer. Goldberg versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Wrestling fans in the late 1990s were constantly debating the potential match between megastars Bill Goldberg and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Both superstars reached their height of success at the same time, except one was in WCW and the other was in the WWE. The closest fans came to seeing the two do battle was at WrestleMania 20 when Austin delivered a stunner to Goldberg. Goldberg's return to WWE has increased the odds of this dream match happening by just a little bit. Well, there you have it. What dream match do you think could still happen in the WWE?
Alright guys, welcome to This Week in Wrestling, covering every
stars me, obviously. It stars this girl that I knew down in South Jersey when I was living down in South Jersey. I was living in Atlantic City. My ex-girlfriend now, obviously, but at the time she was my girlfriend, Sarah. She cheated on me twice. Once on Halloween with two brothers in a threesome, and then she cheated on me again with somebody she worked with at the Rainforest Cafe at the Trump Plaza. She cheated on me with a busboy. That's twice. So I tried to hang on to the relationship. She wanted to go in other directions. One thing led to another. She dumped me, and after 5 years, I was alone. Living on my own. I moved from Atlantic City. I got a new place in Bender. I lived with my regional manager at Starbucks. Eventually quit Starbucks. He became a regional director for Auntie Anne's Pretzels because that's when he originally started in the industry. He was a very, very good, dear friend to me. We lost contact over the years. We became a pastor in his church. He got married, got kids, wife, etc., etc. So that is what happened with that. When I was living in Bender, okay, I replaced him. I got a roommate, and I was doing good for him. The funny thing is, Sarah's dumped me, right? And the guy that she left me for, beat her. What do you think she called? What do you think she called after the guy that she left me for beat the shit out of her? She called me. She tried to track me down. She knew where I worked. People relate the message to me. Oh, Sarah called me. What? So she wanted to meet up. She wanted to kind of rekindle things, right? So I pull up to her mom's house in Port Republic, New Jersey, right? Fucking deer, fucking jumping all over the place. I'm like, where the fuck am I, man? Am I fucking baby or am I fucking going to this house? What the fuck's going on? I came this close to being a fucking deer with my Mustang. So I was a nervous wreck driving there. But this has nothing to do with the story, by the way. I'm just telling you what happened with this particular person. So I pull up to her mom's house in the Mustang, right? She's up with us. She comes down the stairs, down the porch, to the outside to greet me. She's like, first thing she does, after other, and we eventually meet. I invite her over to the place. You know, she's very reserved, very quiet. I didn't know much about her history. I don't know if she was hurt back in the day. I didn't know anything. All I know is that she moved from Florida to live with her mother, who was living in Galloway, Absecon, New Jersey. Her parents were divorced. She came up here to live with her mother and find a job and, you know, pretty much get on her own 2 feet. So we walk to the Italian deli the night that she comes over to meet for the first time. I get us calzones, pizzeria, calzones, and we go back to my place. We're watching the movie, just enjoying each other's company. There was no funny business. You know, I started to give her a back rub, I believe. You know, we ended up passing out on the couch, and that was it. You know, she drove home. Nice. Now we get to come up. Nice night. Right? I was just happy that I met somebody else that I could potentially have something. And that's what I was thinking. I was looking to, you know, rebound, and I was looking to get on my own 2 feet again after what Sarah did to me. And Ashley was perfect. So we got to know each other a little bit better. We hung out more. We went out to bars. You know, we just hung around. We went to the mall. You know, the things that friends would do. And it came to Christmas time. And at this point, I started to realize that there was another guy in the picture. His name was Rick. I had no problem with Rick now at all. And I never had a problem with Rick. I didn't know Rick, but he was in the picture. And I believe he was interested in Ashley, and just by the way that he was talking with her, and by the way he was sending her messages on MySpace. I'm like, okay, so now I have a fucking coon who is in competition to get with Ashley, right? Or getting good with Ashley. So it was Christmas time, and, you know, I cared enough for her to go Starbucks, man. The low cost of living where I was with my roommate. And I thought things were well. So the night ends, we have hot cocoa, we watch Christmas movies, everything is nice, I'm like, everything is great, right? Ashley is really into me, and I make things special. I'm the one guy that she can count on, I'm making her feel good. There's no way that I can fuck this up. There's no way that this could go wrong. So I'm home one night, and I don't remember what happened between that night on Christmas Eve and what I'm about to tell you. I don't remember what happened. I don't know if we got into an argument, outlandish or stupid, but it was one night I was home by myself, right? And it was raining, and she messaged me on MySpace, and she said something to the effect that, you know, you made me feel bad, you made me feel guilty. I don't exactly remember what she said, but it resulted in her not even coming in. She drove all the way to my apartment in Ventnor, New Jersey, and she had delivered a trash bag and put it right outside my back door. What was in the trash bag was everything that I had gotten her for Christmas. So, after all that I went through and all the money that I spent to make her feel special, to make her Christmas one of the most memorable she's ever had, she takes everything that I bought her, she puts it in a trash bag, and delivers it to my back door without even knocking, without even coming in, without even acknowledging me that she's there. She messaged me on MySpace, says I left you something outside the back door. In the rain. How do you think I felt after that? How do you think I felt about Christmas after that? And it was on and off with her ever since then. It was a friendship, and it was not on and off. Because I don't know if she had demons that she was battling. She wasn't right in the head at all. You know, I eventually moved 5 minutes away from where her mother was living, where she was living with her mother. We were practically neighbors. And we hung out. We were big into ghost adventures and big into, you know, all that paranormal shit. You know, I'd hang out with her mother, and, you know, she was the one I always confided in and called upon when we had nothing to do, and she did the same thing to me. I eventually lost contact with her as I completely broke her down into 1,000 pieces, because being friend-zoned for as long as I have with her, after everything that I did for her, she continued to just date the biggest fucking degenerates that you could possibly ever imagine. Degenerate after degenerate after degenerate. She was with this guy for 4 years who just totally treated her like shit. I said something about it. And I broke her down so bad that she was nothing but a fucking ball of tears. And she couldn't believe that I had that within me to talk to her that way. She said that I reminded her of her father and how he gets when he's angry. I eventually left New Jersey and I moved back to New York. And I really didn't talk to her ever since then. But all of that came out because of the years of how she treated me that particular Christmas, which will never go away. Who does that type of shit? You know, who does that type of thing? So, on this Christmas, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, and I hope that you never go through what I went through that Christmas. That was my worst Christmas ever. Something that I will never forget, because, you know, I'm a genuine nice guy, and that's what I do. And that's pretty much something that really has scarred me, and I don't look at Christmas the same way anymore, man. I really don't. So, I wanted to share that with you guys instead of making a separate video about it. I figured do it here on Off the Script because, you know, this is my biggest audience. And I figured you guys would enjoy that. I know you guys like to hear the personal side of things, and I wanted to share that with you. So there you have it. That is my worst Christmas of all time. Alright, now, let's get into the business. I want to thank everybody for the support over parts 1 and 2 for Off the Script. If you guys missed that, links will be down in the description below. Continue to vote for Off the Script on WrestlingRadioAwards.com. Vote for Show of the Year. Type in Off the Script with JD from NY. And let's make Off the Script the Podcast of the Year on WrestlingRadioAwards.com. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys have not done so already. Patreon, thank you to everybody that's pledged during the holiday season, and I greatly appreciate your patronage. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you to everybody. We will be doing a Q&A at the end of this video, patron-only Q&A. So make sure you guys stay tuned towards the end of the video for Patreon Q&A, okay? But if you guys want to go on there, read the mission statement, find out what I'm doing, why I'm doing this, and why I want to take over the fucking world, in the world of podcasting, and get my feet within the industry of professional wrestling. It's all on there, man. Patreon.com/JD206. If you guys don't want to do that, you can't afford it, and you want another option to support me in the show, the podcast, and the channel, barbershopwindow.com, man. JD is Negan is the hottest selling t-shirt on Barbershop Window, man. Go get yours today, barbershopwindow.com. Type in Off the Script in the search bar. It'll bring you right to my online shop. I got a variety of different shirts. More ideas coming within the new year. So make sure you guys go check that out. Barbershopwindow.com and get your JD is Negan, Dana Brooke, Get Off My TV, Roman Reigns, Eva Marie, Big Show, Get Off My TV. The Goon City design is all on there, $19.99, and they ship worldwide. Pro Wrestling Crate, we did an unboxing on part 1. Make sure you guys go check that out. I got WWE Slam Crate by Loot Crate. Visit the link down below. I should be getting mine next week. We'll be doing an unboxing on episode 150 of Off the Script. WWE Slam Crate by Loot Crate. We are sponsored by Loot Crate. And I want to save you guys some money. Visit the link that I provide down below and use the coupon code JD from NY at checkout. Bi-monthly subscription service. You're going to save yourself some money, man. So make sure you guys check that out. WrestleCrate.com. And on Twitter at WrestleCrates. I didn't get my WrestleCrate. Very disappointed in that. But whatever the case may be, I still love them guys over there. WrestleCrate.com and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. Use the coupon code JDSENTME for 10% off. That is a month subscription service. And I'm still sick. Can't kick this cold, man. Cannot kick it. And finally, we got WrestleRumble.com. They will be doing a Royal Rumble Pick'em, the toughest Pick'em of the year. So make sure you guys go check that out. WrestleRumble.com. Bookmark that. I will give you guys information as it becomes available. Huge prizes going out for WrestleRumble.com. And finally, check out House of Glory Wrestling on YouTube.com. There's going to be stuff that I'm going to be doing on there. There's going to be stuff that you're going to be hearing with me and Matthew Ryan Shapiro. They just released the 6-minute teaser for their House of Glory 6-year anniversary show featuring the Dudleys and the Broken Hardys. Me and Matt called the show. It's fucking awesome. I just got word back that Ken Broadway, their Crown Jewel champion, and Leo Rush, one of the matches that my boy Isaac listened to, said it was fucking gold. I can't wait for you guys to hear the commentary from House of Glory number 6. So make sure you guys go subscribe to them. I want to get them up with the audience, and I want to get them closer to 10,000 subs. They're practically at 5,100 subs, man. So they're doing great so far for themselves. House of Glory Wrestling on YouTube.com. Make sure you guys go and check that out. We're going to start off the script with this story here. Vince McMahon had his evolving impression of Big Cass on WWE's main roster. What does this mean for Big Cass in 2017? Vince McMahon's evolving impression of Big Cass on WWE's main roster. Ironically enough, Enzo and Cass never got to hold the NXT Tag Team titles, and they've yet to capture the gold on the main roster either. Originally, they were penciled in to enter a major program with the Day of the New, where they become the new champions at WrestleMania 33 next April. That remained on the table for quite some time, but it was eventually scrapped in favor of the Day of the New, dropping the belts to Cesaro and Sheamus after breaking the record for longest reigning tag team champs in WWE history. It's unclear exactly when Vince nixed a title program for Big Cass and Enzo, but the pair had to endure a bump in the road early on upon their promotions. Less than a month after their arrival, Enzo suffered a scary concussion when he was legitimately knocked out during a tag team match against the Vaudevillains at WWE Payback. Vince lost some measure of confidence in Enzo and viewed him similarly in a way he saw Sasha Banks, in that they were injury prone. It wasn't even Enzo's fault. It wasn't even Enzo's fault that he got concussed. I mean, Simon Gotch absolutely rocket launched him in an Irish whip. It wasn't even like Enzo had time to react. It was an Irish whip that was executed in the middle of the ring, and Enzo had nothing to do. He had nothing that he could have done at the speed he was going. He's lucky he didn't end his career on that. That was scary. And everybody was scared for him. We were fucking thrilled to see him come back 2 weeks later. But that was not Enzo's fault. And Vince McMahon, it's unfair that he is labeling Enzo injury prone, because he really hasn't been injured since then. So I don't know where that report's coming from. But whatever the case, I think Vince needs to tighten the fucking screws that it's got loose in his head, because that's not fair to Enzo. Vince lost some measure of confidence in Enzo, viewed him the same as he sees Sasha Banks. However, Big Cass seems to benefit from his partner's misfortune, getting showcased as a singles competitor while Enzo recovered. Even when Enzo was cleared to compete, Cass received more and more opportunities, including a huge Universal Championship match the week after Finn Balor was forced to relinquish it. In any event, we received reports that Vince was extremely high on Big Cass and already had designs of turning him into a major single star. He was, however, willing to let the tag team run its course without rushing it. Still, no tag team titles, but they did receive a high-profile program against Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho for this year's SummerSlam. According to Ringside News, what was once Vince's infatuation with Big Cass and his impressive size has evolved way beyond that. Vince is now reportedly impressed with his facial expressions and overall presence on television as well. But the feeling backstage that the company will be able to help Big Cass improve on all aspects mentioned. The only thing I don't like about Big Cass is the fact that his promo ability comes off as robotic, it comes off as forced, and it just sounds very cringeworthy. You gotta tone it down and let them go out there and be somewhat free, man. You know, Big Cass was not like that in NXT. The difference between Big Cass's promo ability in NXT and on Monday Night Raw is night and day. I don't like it. And that is the biggest thing that needs to be worked on for Big Cass. What this means for Enzo and his future is unknown. But right now, around the time of his concussion in May, talk had already circulated that his long-term plans probably revolved around the role of manager for Big Cass. Vince has always felt that the purpose of smaller superstars was to get beat up by larger superstars unless they were truly gifted in the ring. Big Cass has entered into a transitional feud with Rusev to test the waters on his ability to perform by himself. Enzo has been used as fodder for the most part, but the two are expected to team up in a tag team match against Rusev and Jinder Mahal on Monday Night Raw. If Vince greenlights both for an appearance in the Royal Rumble, their chances of competing in a tag team match at WrestleMania improve. But Big Cass is the only one entered that might give a clear indication of what's to come for both Big Cass on Monday Night Raw. You know, to be perfectly honest with you, the way WWE is going right now, I don't think they want anything to do with Big Cass and Enzo as a tag team. And that's a damn shame. I think WWE completely missed the boat on these guys. And they were the hottest act, tag team-wise, to come around in a very, very long time. You know, comparisons to the New Age Outlaws being thrown around. With the way they get everybody involved with their intro and their entrance. And this team and the tag team division was really looking like it was on the up and up. And now that they split the rosters, it looks like Cass and Enzo have absolutely nothing to work with. They went through the club, they went through the phase with the Shining Stars, and now it's Enzo taking a back seat, fucking around with Lana in hotel rooms as he's getting beat up every fucking week. And Big Cass is trying to clean up the mess. Now at this point, I don't even think I care what happens to Big Cass and Enzo. If Cass ends up going up on his own and being a single star, so be it. But then you're going to be wasting Enzo. And you're going to be wasting a huge opportunity at one damn good fucking tag team. Because when they came to the main roster, everything about Enzo and Cass quickly diminished. Just like everything else that's brought up from NXT. WWE does nothing with them but sell merchandise and crack jokes and have a funny entrance. That's it. Meanwhile, these guys, as a tag team, is fucking great. Watch Roadblock in March and watch their match with the Revival and tell me that's not a damn good fucking wrestling match. These guys have the capability of being and leading WWE's tag team division. Why they are being wasted away, I don't know. You know? This is not even, it's not even a fucking year of them being on the main roster yet. And WWE is already thinking about breaking them up. Come on, man. It's not right. And WWE again rushing to get another tag team broken up. Rushing to get another singles guy because they haven't created any new singles superstars. Nor are they interested in any. It sucks. Enzo and Cass need to be a tag team. And I would love to see Enzo and Cass really compete on SmackDown. I'd love that. And I know, not everybody can be on SmackDown. You know, it's a 2-hour show. Eventually everybody's going to get pushed down and not featured and this and that, but that's the great thing about a draft. Reshuffle rosters. I would love to see Enzo and Cass just bring it in the tag team division instead of fucking clowning around with Rusev and Lana and Enzo not having a huge role on the show. Oh, but JD, he's receiving TV time, but he's not receiving TV time to look good. He's being made to look like a fucking joke. Big Cass does have upside. He does need work. Clearly not ready. But I would love to see these guys stick it out as a tag team, win some tag team titles, lead a division that needs a presence like them, and then, after a few years, you can think about breaking them up and sending Big Cass on his own. When he's developed mic time and mic presence, and he doesn't sound like a fucking robot, and isn't overly scripted. Seriously, now is not the time. Get these guys in a serious role in the tag team division, have them lead a division that's fucking drowning right now, and then you can break up Big Cass and Enzo and do what you want with Big Cass as a singles guy. That's just my opinion on that. WWE planning a huge WrestleMania 33 for Sasha Banks. WWE and their women don't know what they got planned for WrestleMania, but Sasha Banks may not be featured in the WWE Women's title scene for quite a while, being that she just lost her final match to Charlotte. But that doesn't mean the powers that be don't have big plans for the ball set against WrestleMania. At WWE Roadblock in the line, Banks lost the women's title to Charlotte in the first ever women's Iron Man match on the main roster. I must make that clear. Who's ever describing that as the first ever women's Iron Man match? Clearly you're a goon. It was the third straight time that Banks lost the title to Charlotte during her first title defense. Unfortunately for Banks, her rivalry with Charlotte will have to end on that note for the foreseeable future. WWE programming is now finally moving on to new feuds for the women's division on Raw heading into 2017 and the Royal Rumble. Vince McMahon reportedly has big plans for Bayley, and it's likely she'll be the one to take the strap off Charlotte's shoulder for good, but that doesn't mean the boss has been forgotten. Bayley may be ascending to WWE superstardom over the next few months, but Sasha Banks is going to be a very important role, or be a very important figure to the women's division through WrestleMania 33 next year and beyond. It has come to light that Vince McMahon isn't the biggest fan of Sasha Banks, which I reported earlier, because of her history with injuries during her career. However, there are still huge plans for her in the works at WrestleMania. Based on the last episode of Raw, the Boss has begun a feud with Nia Jax heading into 2017. The two women haven't crossed paths yet, so their dynamic will be fresh, and Nia's size and in-ring style will provide Sasha with a new challenge in the ring. It's likely that Banks will be putting over Nia the next couple weeks in the build toward the Royal Rumble, but she'll likely end up getting the victory in the end. As of this writing, it's unclear how long WWE officials are planning for the Banks-Jax feud to last, but it seems like their rivalry will last through Fastlane in February. Or Fastlane is in March. Elimination Chamber is in February for SmackDown. Fastlane will be a Raw exclusive pay-per-view, while Elimination Chamber will be a SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. Of course, it could always extend through WrestleMania 33. I doubt it. On what grounds would it last WrestleMania 33? What underlying issue is there that should need to last for 3 months? I don't know. However, a new report is hinting that WWE officials may have something bigger planned for the Boss on WWE's grandest stage next year in Orlando. According to that report, Sasha Banks is scheduled to have a huge match at WrestleMania 33 next year. Her potential opponent hasn't been revealed yet, but that is telling because WWE could have someone unexpected planned for her in Orlando next year. Logically, her opponent could be someone coming into the company from outside the WWE, or her mystery opponent could be an NXT star like Asuka, making her WWE debut. Recently, Mickie James made her WWE return to NXT, and she's expected to return to the main roster and WWE television soon. It has also been reported by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon that they are planning a new tournament for all-female talents from the industry on the WWE Network in early 2017. So WWE is actively looking outside the company for female talent, which will likely give WWE many new female performers. By WrestleMania 33, Banks could have plenty of fresh opponents to choose from for WWE's biggest show of the year. Despite reports that WWE officials wanted to book Bayley versus Sasha for the grandest stage of them all in Orlando, it's now being reported that both women will have separate matches on the show. For now, Sasha Banks will be kept busy with Nia Jax on WWE television. Whenever their rivalry concludes, WWE's creative plans for the Boss will be revealed. There's rumored that she may be turning heel before WrestleMania 33 as well, so a lot can happen over the next few months. WWE fans will just have to wait. I don't see WWE having 2 women's matches on the show. I think, and I mentioned this already, I would not be surprised to see a triple threat match between Banks, Bayley, and Sasha at WrestleMania. And if you want, Bayley could win it. She can end Charlotte's undefeated pay-per-view winning streak by pinning the champion for the title. And Banks could turn heel in the process. Something could happen in that match that causes a rift between both Banks and Bayley. And then after the match, Banks could come out, celebrate with Bayley after she just beat Charlotte, and attack her, and brutally attack her after the match, turning her heel. And then you could set up Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the WWE Women's Championship. That's just an idea, but I would not be surprised to see a triple threat match. I don't see Sasha Banks going against anybody else, and I don't see WWE bringing in anybody outside to fight Sasha. I don't see them having 2 women's matches at WrestleMania. The only other thing I can see is if they do want to have another women's match between 2 women. Banks, Mickie James, that could be something. An interpromotional type of match, you know, on top of Bayley versus Charlotte. But that remains to be seen. My first guess would be a triple threat match. Banks, Bayley, and Charlotte at WrestleMania. Not out of the question, but we will find out as we get closer to WrestleMania 33. Reason why Cesaro was not traded from Raw to SmackDown. And WWE officials have huge plans for him in 2017. Immediately after the draft, Cesaro got a lot of attention after letting loose about his position in WWE. He was the 28th pick in the draft. Wow. Awful. Which was insanely low for a man of his talent. It was rumored that WWE officials had taken notice after his grievances were aired on WWE programming, and a better position and bigger push was being planned for Cesaro after the brand extension. Cesaro's new push didn't happen overnight, though. There were rumors about him possibly leaving the WWE at the end of the year. His position on Raw didn't change for a few months as the feud with Sheamus rallied on through a best-of-7 series. It was heavily rumored that he could just be leaving Raw or SmackDown, or leaving Raw for SmackDown, rather, where he could have much more of an opportunity with Daniel Bryan and the Blue Brand. However, a trade between the two brands for Cesaro never amounted. Instead, the rivalry between Cesaro and Sheamus became a forced partnership, and the two have eventually gelled into a strong tag team. Less than 24 hours from their making WWE history after defeating New Day and dethroning them as tag team champions, the New Day had accumulated a title reign of 483 days. So, Cesaro and Sheamus dethroned the champions after they broke the record of longest reigning tag team champions of all time at Roadblock. Now, Cesaro isn't going anywhere. He'll be staying on Raw for the foreseeable future. The momentum boost on Cesaro and Sheamus after defeating the New Day is substantial. It's far too early to tell how long the duo will hold the tag team titles, but the assumption is it will be for some time. Whenever that day comes, WWE officials apparently have big plans for both men, Cesaro and Sheamus, in 2017. Their tag team title win is said to be just the start for Cesaro and Sheamus to become two of WWE's biggest stars. I doubt that, but let's continue. Cesaro forced WWE's brass to pay attention after making it known he was unhappy with his role, and he's made WWE history now with Sheamus. If he had been traded to SmackDown, he might have had a stronger role with WWE as a singles guy. However, he's made a bigger impact on Raw and will be doing more in 2017. According to recent reports, the reason why Cesaro wasn't traded off Raw to SmackDown is because WWE officials thought his work with Sheamus was doing both men a lot of good. The powers that be believe that Sheamus is better than he has ever been during his career. They're saying, or said, to be very high on Sheamus right now. And Cesaro is getting a lot of credit for that. WWE officials believe he's been bringing the best out of Sheamus. Now that the pair has won the tag team championships, they will be pushed as one of WWE's top tag teams. Obviously, that means big things for them in 2017. Their success throughout 2017 is expected to be a launching pad for both men to excel as single stars whenever their team is disbanded. Sheamus is already a multiple-time world champion, but this could finally be the push to get Cesaro into the WWE title picture. WWE Universe has been clamoring for the Swiss Superman to reach main event status for quite a while, and as the Cesaro section continues to grow and his tag team success continues to impress the WWE officials, it may finally be his opportunity to be a WWE World Champion in 2017. At this rate, it's only a matter of time. I am disappointed that Cesaro didn't end up on SmackDown, but I will say this. The pairing between Cesaro and Sheamus at the start, it really didn't look like it was going to amount to anything. But now that you look back at what they did and what Mick Foley did by pairing them in a best-of-7 series, you know, at first, it was whatever. You know, Sheamus went up 3-0. Cesaro, the reports were going around saying that Cesaro was going to be, you know, catapulted into superstardom by beating Sheamus 4 times straight. But what would that do to Sheamus on the opposite end, you know? It would make him look like a fucking scrub. It would make him look like a bum. So they had a match 7, and the match 7 was fucking great. It came to a draw, and looking back on it, when it happened, we were pissed because we didn't get a definitive winner. But now looking back on it, and looking at where WWE's going with these guys, it makes sense. It makes sense. How could you have Sheamus lose 4 in a row? How could you have the burial of Sheamus like that? Sheamus would never recover from that, man. People would always look at Sheamus in that type of light, as a fucking Mick Carter for life on Monday Night Raw. So it ended up being a draw. And seeing where we are now, it worked. Not only did they deliver one of the best matches this year, but they now are working together in what was a throwaway tag team. They're working together, and probably, if it's going to make Sheamus better in the end by pairing him with Cesaro, that's great. Now, what they do with Sheamus after this, because you know it's not going to last forever, that's going to be strictly on how WWE Creative pushes Sheamus, and it's going to be up to Sheamus to take that ball and elevate himself. There's only so much WWE creative can do. There's only so much that the fans can do. He's got to really elevate himself and differentiate himself from anything we've seen before with Sheamus. Cesaro is showing you how valuable he is right now. He is great in the ring, and we knew that. People have been wanting him in the main event for years because of how great he was. And it seems like he's always had the short end of the stick. Tag teams broken up. Tag teams injured. You know? Now he's with Sheamus, and now he's in a tag team that's actually working. A tag team that's over. And he's making Cesaro better because of it. Look at how great Cesaro is. Look at how valuable Cesaro is to Monday Night Raw. And if there's another thing I could add to the very, very, very short list of things that Monday Night Raw did right, they're creating a new star in Braun Strowman. And they are taking a veteran in Sheamus, and they're making him relevant again with someone who people have a desire to see on their television, with Cesaro. They're utilizing Cesaro for his in-ring ability, which we knew was there, but they're also utilizing him and his popularity and how great he really is to get Sheamus over. So the two things that Monday Night Raw did right this year, Braun Strowman, and we're getting a tag team that we didn't think was going to work, but in the end ended up being one of WWE's real success stories, Sheamus and Cesaro. So I know Cesaro, and hopefully Cesaro is catapulted into World Championship caliber material by the end of the year. But as for Sheamus, I don't know, man. I feel like Sheamus is just rinse and repeat. I don't think people are going to really latch on to Sheamus like they are Cesaro. Sheamus may end up being right back where he was before all this started. That's what I have a fear of. But if WWE thinks that they can make Sheamus into a top guy, by all means, you need top guys. And he's not bad in the ring at all. Sheamus is always very, very good in the ring. I've never seen a bad Sheamus match. He always delivers quality. Same thing with Cesaro. But out of the two, clearly Cesaro has more upside than Sheamus. And I hope that Sheamus can really come out of this when it's time, looking like a legit superstar. That's what we can hope for. But I'm enjoying the act. I would have never taken the belts off the New Day, to be honest with you. WWE, I think, really hot-shotted the titles as soon as the record was broken. It's like they only wanted to break the record, and that was it. WWE had an opportunity to now have fun with the record, being that you already broke it. Why not extend it? Why not bring in an outside tag team? I mentioned, the Broken Hardys are contracted to TNA in February. Why not bring in the Broken Hardys for a program of the Day of the New at WrestleMania? And have the Broken Hardys win the tag team championships. That would be fucking great. That would be something great. The Broken Hardys infiltrating Monday Night Raw and fighting for the tag team championships. That would have been something people would have loved to see. But WWE didn't go with that, and they're looking at Sheamus and Cesaro as carrying the tag team division for Monday Night Raw into 2017. We got news here on a WWE superstar taking time off from television, and the real reason for his absence. Superstar in question is Mick Foley. Mick Foley is taking time off to spend the holidays with his family and to do his volunteer work as Santa. Mick Foley is a huge Santa guy. He has an entire room, if you guys watched Holy Foley, he's got a whole room in his house dedicated to Christmas. Christmas 365 days a year for Mick Foley. He is not being released, and he's not being fired. So that was reported by ProWrestlingSheet.com and Ryan Sapp. They confirmed that Foley's going to be off television for a while, even though he's in the middle of a rather interesting storyline with Sami Zayn. This is a storyline that has been going on for more than a month now and has really picked up a lot of steam. Foley is going to be part of any storylines for the next few weeks, and that was the reason for it. Mick Foley, on the show as general manager for Monday Night Raw, has allowed Commissioner Stephanie McMahon to take a lot more of a backstage role. She doesn't have to appear on WWE television as much for WWE, and this allows Mick Foley to kind of take control of things on Raw. Now, some may say that the last 2 weeks of the year likely won't be a big deal, as the show can survive without either McMahon or Foley. Yes, Raw can survive without both of them, but Foley taking time off from television for storyline and Sami Zayn being involved is kind of a strange move by WWE. Sami Zayn failed to win his match against The Miz at Survivor Series and bring the Intercontinental title to Raw, as he's been under the gun. Mick Foley had to put Sami Zayn in a match against Braun Strowman due to the orders of Stephanie McMahon, who said that Zayn needed to be punished for his failure. Zayn was absolutely decimated by the Giant and has vowed to get his revenge for weeks now, but Foley wouldn't give him another match. On Raw, Zayn demanded a trade. Foley said he would trade Zayn to SmackDown for Eve Marie. He later rescinded that trade just to hype up Sami Zayn and get that fire building within him. Finally, Foley gave into Zayn and granted him his match with Braun Strowman, but it isn't just as simple as a regular bout. It was a 10-minute time limit. If Zayn could prove that he could last 10 minutes with Sami Zayn against Braun Strowman, he would have proved to Mick Foley that he is worth the time. Roadblock end of the line. We've seen Mick Foley come out, and then we've seen him again on Raw. So I don't know what's going on with that. Foley is not being fired or suspended. So that is the reason why Mick Foley is going to be taking time off. I'm also hearing that he's going to be taking time off for hip replacement surgery as well. He didn't look good at all, and there's reports that he's limping and he's not looking good at all. But he did start DDP yoga and he lost close to 100 pounds. So good for Mick Foley on that. The shows really don't need him. If Stephanie's going to be back after the holiday, she can have a week or two, even though I don't like either one of them. But as far as the end of the year, we really don't need authority figures. Mick should go get himself right, go get the surgery, go spend time with your families, go do your holiday thing as Santa, and that's it. The one we have to worry about here is Sami Zayn. What are they going to do with Sami Zayn? How is this going to pick up? Was that the end? Is there anything more for this Sami Zayn storyline? So I don't know. We got to see what's going on with that. But Mick Foley should be taking time off from television this Christmas season. Going to be spending time with his family as Santa. We might see him tomorrow. I have no idea. But if he's not, clearly the report from Pro Wrestling Sheet will have some validity to it. And then obviously the hip surgery, we all know he needs hip surgery as well to repair those bad hips. And he looked terrible on Monday Night Raw in that segment with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Speaking of Kevin Owens, WrestleMania plans from Kevin Owens have been revealed. We all know the Royal Rumble is just around the corner, and it's being planned by WWE as one of the biggest